Hey there, we've decided to start a Mordheim campaign, and we're going to be using several different warbands. This time we're just going to use our first two starting warbands. I'm using Dwarfs and Dan is using Reikland. So we've rolled for a scenario for our first battle for these warbands, and it's Breakthrough. I'm just going to go over what's in my Dwarf warband, and then Dan will introduce his Reikland, and then we'll get started. First of all, we're not actually going full WYSIWYG because we'd be too limited in what models we could use. So we're going to stick to these models, but they're not armed with what they look like they're armed with. This is Thrund, my Dwarf Noble. He's got a helmet, Dwarf Axe, hammer and a pistol. This is my Engineer Garrick with a crossbow and hammer. I've got two Slayers. First one, Draki with a sword and hammer, and Scowl with just a hammer. Then my henchman, this is Orek the Strong. He's just a one-man henchman group, helmet and great weapon. Here we've got Grimbolt. He's got crossbow and hammer. And then the last henchman group is another Thunderer called Holgard Deadeye, but he's got a hammer. He's got no actual ranged weapon yet. So there's three separate henchman groups. I've got 7 people in my warband.
And in my Reikland warband, I've got, this is Grunvard. He's the mercenary captain. He's got 2 pistols, a helmet and a free dagger. Got my champion, Reikland. He's got a helmet, as you can see, and a massive sword. It's a double-handed weapon. I've got 2 young bloods. First one is Bruna. He's got a halberd, and that's it. And second one is John Dunn, and he's got a sword and a free dagger. Those are my heroes. My henchman groups, I've got the string section, which is 3 marksmen with bows. That's all they've got, actually. Oh, they've got a free dagger as well. That's all they've got. Free dagger and a bow each. I've got the clubbers. They've each got a club, mace, hammer. It's the same thing. And a free dagger as well. And then last of all, I've got Trigger. This terrifying looking man. He's got a free dagger and a sword. And a blunderbuss. That big thing there. So blunderbuss is a bit of a weird weapon in Mordheim. You can only fight once per battle. 16-inch range. 1-inch width to the fire. You don't roll to hit. Everyone in that line has a strength 3 hit, so that could be exciting.
Okay, so Reikland are going to be the attackers in this breakthrough scenario. So they have to deploy within 8 inches of their board edge. So they're deployed spread out like that. And if they can get 2 people, is it 2 people to my board edge, then they win.
Or they rout.
Or if they rout. Yeah. And for the dwarves, the only way they can win is by routing, I think, isn't it? So the dwarves, I've deployed my warband similarly spread out, because I'm going to have to cover all the board so he doesn't get people past. And yeah, he's now facing the right way. Yeah, so I've got my Slayer over there, just spread out over here. How well that's going to work, I've got no idea, since he's slightly faster than me. So we'll get on with the game. So the attackers automatically get the first turn in this scenario. Most of them, some of them stay still, but they can move 4 and also fire their bows. So some of them are doing that, hugging cover a bit around there. Got a group of 4 guys making their way this way, and this guy's moved 4 as well. And there's a fair few bowmen. I think if you do just the 3 bows,
3 archers.
Yeah, 3 archers.
The guy with the blunderbuss.
Yeah. And shooting, a couple of shots were in range. 1 missed, and then the guy over here hit but failed to wound. So dwarves movement. I've moved some of my guys up. Basically, the ones that don't have crossbows are moving up a little bit. Got my noble there. The engineer with a crossbow, and this Grimbolt with a crossbow. And
I've just got the Grimbolt weapon. Bolt.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to cut off these guys with my 3 dwarfs here. And shooting, my engineer shot at an archer over here and managed to knock him down. And the crossbowman Grimbolt shot at the guy over here, he's in the open but missed. Reikland turn 2, archer staying still. Got the guy's now not stunned, he's knocked down, so he crawled 2 inches. These guys over here are running away from the Slayer who's over there. This big blob of men is just gone quite a short distance, they don't want to be charged this turn. It's gone around there, and the archer over there has stayed still as well. Oh, and in the middle, who is this guy in the middle?
He's one of the clubbers.
It's a clubber, yeah, he's come into the centre of the board. And this time, both of the archers missed the dwarfs. Dwarfs turn 2, Slayer's now leaving his position, coming round this street. The 2 crossbowmen are still standing still, obviously. Noble has come out to the centre, although his pistol's moving fire, so he can't use it. And then these 3 are moving round. And just like the Reikland shooting phase, both my dwarfs missed at shooting. Reikland turn 3. The archers are basically staying still. They're going to take pot shots at the Slayer. Halberd guy, he's facing off against the Slayer.
Probably insane.
Yeah. Got 2 guys moving in the centre, but then we've got a lot of charges over here. 2 guys against, I can't remember what that dwarf is. 1 guy against the Slayer, 2 guys against the Great Weapon Dwarf. Oh, and this archer's just now legging it down the field. So shooting once again was absolutely shit, and no one hit, I don't think, for Reikland. And then combat was just, oh my god, that was so piss poor from both of us. Yeah. So this combat, nothing. This combat, nothing. This combat, my guy survived and actually managed to knock down the guy with the great weapon. So not too bad. And it's now my turn 3. So Dwarf's turn 3. Slayer is sizing up the halberdier. My noble has come to the centre, and no one else has moved. This guy took a pot shot all the way through to this guy who could see but missed. And guess what this guy did? He missed as well. And in combat, this guy who was actually the Thunderer who didn't have a range weapon has been taken out. Nothing happened here. And all I had to do was hit this guy and take him out, but I missed. And nothing else happened. Reikland, turn 4. Some suicidal troopers charged my dwarf noble. Now 3 guys attacking my Slayer. I'm still betting on the Slayer. This guy stood back up. Archer's still sprinting for the finish line. And over here, this halberdier has run over there. Being a dwarf, I just can't. If people want to run away, I can't catch them. And meanwhile, this archer is taunting him to come around here. In shooting, it was only this archer that could shoot, and he didn't do anything to the Slayer. And in combat, nothing happened over here to the noble, and is this a young blood?
Yeah.
With the Slayer, 2 guys attacked and did nothing, but the 3rd guy managed to take him out with a critical hit. And over here, again, nothing. Even with a great weapon, I can't do anything to these guys, just missing. I think actually I failed to wound. Right. Okay, so start of my turn 4, and I decided to voluntarily rout. So looking at the situation, Slayer can't do anything to stop that guy getting past him anyway.
And he probably isn't going to get to
because
anyone, because he's going to run away.
Yeah, if he does that, there's 3 guys coming over here, going to pile in on my dwarf lord, dwarf noble, potentially with these guys now. Maybe send one of them off with this guy. There's no way I can stop him getting past. I'm just going to lose more dwarfs. Could be very expensive. So we're just going to call it there. So Reikland win, and we get to the fun part. Well, the more fun part rather, which is experience and stuff. So we're going to see what we get and roll, and we'll come back to you. Okay, so first of all, I had 2 guys die. The Slayer, Scal, he survived, and nothing positive or negative for him. Unfortunately, the Deadeye, what's his face, guy that died, is permanently dead. So that's annoying, because I've got to buy another guy now, or if I want to replace him. Fortunately, my engineer Garrick has leveled up, and he got a skill, so I chose quick shot, so he can fire twice with his crossbow. And in the Weirdstone hunt, I got 70 gold. I think I got 3 pieces of Weirdstone, so I sold that for 70 gold. And instead of buying back the Deadeye guy, who's now dead, I had enough to buy another guy for the Grim Bolts with the crossbow and hammer. So that's pretty useful. I've now got 4 crossbow shots. I've got 2 gold left basically. And Dan, no one died for him. He's going to have a think about what he's going to spend his money on, because he's got how much now?
71.
71 to spend.
Probably going to buy each of my warriors a sword.
Yeah, he's quite useful to parry with. Yeah, so that's it. Back to 7 men in my warband, and Dan may or may not buy another character as well. So, right, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.